Okay, so electricity for your EV car, it seems to be a real problem at the moment. And this very quick video, I'm going to go through what I've been doing to try and look for the best deal on the market. And I'm going to give you two possible ways for you to get free or drastically reduced electricity for your EV. So stay tuned and I will go through those details a little bit later on. So to put this in context, I've had my EV car for a year almost, and my tariff at the moment comes to an end at the end of May. So I'm now looking for a new supplier for the electricity and the gas to the house. This is a mammoth task, and if any of you have ever tried to look for a cheapest tariff, you'll appreciate how difficult this actually is. So at the moment I am with British Gas. I have a Hive charger, and when I've got my charger installed with British Gas 12 months ago, I was given 12 months free charging. So that will come into my calculations, but I'll explain that as we go along. So I'm now looking for a new tariff that's going to cost me less if possible, but certainly I don't want an over the top price of electricity because let's face it, all the tariffs have gone up over the last 12 months anyway, since I took out my fixed rate one 12 months ago. So let's have a look. I've been through quite a few of the websites looking for a good deal, and I've narrowed it down to three main suppliers. We've got British Gas again, we've got Octopus, and we've got E.ON. They're the three that kind of come out as roughly the best deals overall before I start looking at the EV side of things. So that's just for general electricity in the house. So let's have a look at my spreadsheet. This is not financial advice, by the way. Please go and do your own sums, speak to your own suppliers, do your own due diligence, make sure whatever tariff you go in is the right one for you. Don't just copy what I've done because this is the right one for me. But as I say, I'm going to go through two possible ways where you could get free electricity charging as well. Okay, so just to very quickly explain this spreadsheet to you. Okay, so this is what I've taken from my Hive charger. Before that I had an Alphen. They've replaced it, so I can't go back any further than August last year, the 17th of August 2024. I can't go back any further than that, but I've got a rough idea of what I did use. So this is the number of kilowatts that I used per charge. This is the cost that it would have cost me, and this is, was it free charge or not? And as you can see, the majority of them are yes. So let's have a look at this side. So this is the number of kilowatts that my house has used overall per month according to British Gas. So on here you can see that in April this year we've used 471 kilowatts, and then back in January when we had really cold weather and we had heaters on, it was 1167 kilowatts. So you can see what I've used. Okay, so I've gone through British Gas, the British Gas EV tariff, the Octopus fixed, which is just a tariff for anybody and everybody, the Octopus EV. Now they do an intelligent one as well, which is a slightly lower rate for EV charging. However, my car and my charger are not compatible with their system at the moment, so I can't actually use the intelligent system. I can go on a normal EV charge, which is anything between midnight and 5 p.m. is low rate, but beyond that it's normal day rate. And at the last minute I did find the British Gas EV with a Hive charger, which I do have, and I've looked at E.ON as well. So I'm not going to go through all these details with you, but this is the cost per kilowatt of electric here, and the standing day charge, which we have to pay in the UK regardless of how much we use, which is a little bit unfair, but we do have to pay it. And because I use gas as well for heating and cooking, I'm looking for a tariff that actually provides me a gas tariff as well. The Octopus EV one is purely electric, so I would have to find a gas one to go with that one, but that one is just the electric. All the rest do gas and electric. So the first part here is the amount per kilowatt that I would pay. Then the next column is the standing day charge. Then if it's an EV one, after the slash, I've put what the discounted rate is for overnight charging. So the British Gas EV goes down to 7.9p a kilowatt. The Octopus EV is 8.5 kilowatts. And the British Gas Hive charge it goes down to a staggering 3.9 pence per kilowatt. So if I quickly work that out, my car's got a 52 kilowatt battery, so it would cost me a whole £2 to fully charge my vehicle. That's 200 miles for £2. That's a penny a mile. That's cheap. Anyway, so let's go through these details. Then underneath there, I've got my gas charge per kilowatt hour plus the standing charge as well. My house used 9,269 kilowatts, including the EV charging. I've worked my EV charging out to be about 1,431 kilowatts. I've deducted the two, so my electricity for the house was 7,838 kilowatts, and my gas was 5,933. So based on those figures and those sums, this is the cost per year, which is the bit before the slash, so 1,977, 2,128, and so on. The bit before the slash is per year, and then I worked that out per month as well. So £164 a month, 177, 163, and so on. Then I've looked at the gas, which is 5,933 kilowatts used. It was quite a cold and prolonged winter this year, so I have probably used more than I would normally do. During the summer, like now in the spring, that drops right off. I think my gas is costing me something like 70 pence a day or something, excluding the standing charge. So that's 5,933 kilowatts per year for gas. At the moment, it's summer, so that's going to drop in. So that's going to cost me about 70 pence a day, but I'm not taking that into account. This is just the last 12 months. So again, I've worked that out for £335 a year, 383, 371, and the bit after slashes per month, £27, 31.30, and so on. Okay, so my EV charging per year cost me that much if I had paid for the electric. Bear in mind, I did have it for free, but if I had paid for it, that's how much it would cost me at these rates. So my total electric per kilowatt hour, so my electric itself, including the charging and the house, comes to £2,334 a year, 2,341, and so on. Add into there what the standing charge is per day, per year, so work that out on 365 days, and then the electric, including standing charge and EV charging and house, comes to that amount per year. And then I've also worked that out to per month. So that's the electric. The gas, I'm going to very quickly show you because I need to know what those figures are, but I'm not going to go through in any detail. So my bill with gas included, which is this figure here, and the electric is £2,989, 2,691, 2,683, and so on. And then per month, so divided by 12, that is how much my electric and gas would be based on the new rates. Now, there's a couple of things that stand out on this. Bear in mind, I didn't pay for electric for the last 12 months, but there's a couple of things that stand out. Is that these ones, so British Gas EV, Octopus, and British Gas EV with Hive and E.ON are actually, the total bill including the gas is actually less than what I would have paid this year, even though prices have gone up. So that was the first thing that surprised me. And then this is what I've now done. So with my EV, I have worked out that if I go to the British Gas EV with Hive, it's going to cost me £215 a month, which actually puts it in first place. In second place, we got surprisingly, the Octopus fixed and not the Octopus EV, because I actually couldn't work out the gas because they don't have one. But if I look at the electricity, including the day charge, the EV one is actually still higher because I'm not a big EV user charging wise. So the house itself uses more electricity. So actually, because the EV's got a slightly higher 29p per kilowatt for the house compared to the 25p on the fixed one, I'm actually going to be losing money there. It's not the best deal for me. So that came in fourth. Third place was the British Gas EV. So as you can see, it's quite complicated, and you need to know what units you're using on gas electric and look at your standing charges as well as your usage. But I found this very useful to work out which deal is better for me. So at the moment, I will be going with this one here. This is the British Gas EV with a Hive charger, and as you can see, it drops it down to 3.9 per kilowatt for the EV car itself, and the day rate for the house is only 27 pence, which I'm only paying 25 at the moment. So there we have it. It's a complicated task to undertake, and I don't envy anybody who's never done this before, because it's not simple. It should be, but it just isn't. And some of the websites that I came across didn't actually give me the option to work to separate how much of my electricity was going to be EV and how much was going to be for domestic use. The websites don't tell you that, so it's really difficult to try and do this on their own platforms, which is why I ended up doing a spreadsheet for it. Now, I did say earlier on, there's going to be two ways where potentially you could get free electricity. The first one is using, and I'll put a link in the description, is using an app called And Charge. This is an application that is using real data from the general public as to the state and condition of chargers. Now, what you can do with this, and I've created a video for this to show you how to do it step by step, is you can rate chargers. You can go and see them, you can take photographs of them and report any issues, and by doing so you earn kilometer points. These kilometer points can then be converted into vouchers. So you could have an Amazon voucher, an Apple voucher, or one of the main charging networks, like so you could actually get free charging credits for Electroverse or Kia Charge or Ellie, which is part of Volkswagen, or Hyundai Charge. You could get vouchers just by reporting issues with chargers. Get these vouchers and convert them into charging credit. So you could go and use a public charger and it wouldn't cost you anything to charge. The other way that you could get free electricity charging for your EV is if you go to the British Gas EV tariff. Now, there may be others that do this, but this is the one that I've found. And in here, it tells you about their EV charging. But if you are a new customer and you take out a new Hive charger from them directly, they will give you 12 months free electricity for your EV car. So if you're considering getting a charger for home or work and you go with British Gas and have a Hive charger directly from them, don't go through any third parties, then they will give you 12 months free charging at home. There is a cap, but it's a lot. Consider that when you're looking at your tariff as well. So if you've not got a charger and you're considering getting one, then it might be worth going with the British Gas, because you're going to save money over the year on EV charging, because they're not going to charge you for it as long as you charge off peak. So there's two ways that you could potentially get free charging. As I said at the beginning, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research. So thank you for watching. If you will be so kind and you like the content, please do like and subscribe. It really does cost you nothing. It's absolutely free, but it means a lot to me as well. It helps me grow the channel, but also means that you don't miss out on any of the future updates that I release. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing a live podcast each week about the latest news, and I'm trying to do them on a Sunday. Unfortunately, at the moment, there's a couple of things coming up, which means I'm not going to be available. I did one last week, so whilst you're here, why don't you just go and have a look at what happened in last week's news? And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.